I'm Leona.
And I'm Reina.
Welcome back to Sembang Seringgit. Sadly, today is our last session.
Aw, but it's okay. You guys can all catch us online all the time.
That's true. Today's session is called Seringgit is the Selulu. So basically, we're going to be discussing on some advice for first jobbers who's about to start their career life. First question is, how do you manage your finance in your first job?
Very poorly.
Me too.
I think you have to sometimes make the mistakes before you realize that girl,
Yeah.
what you doing? Why you self-sabo like this? I think another thing is that especially when I was younger we didn't have social media. I had Facebook in uni. We didn't have an online community to talk about these things. And the most that you have is your parents, and you didn't really have any exposure in school or whatever. So
Yeah.
I was going into it blind as a bat. So basically when I was young, because I had all of those expectations but none of those reality checks, so money was really scarce when I was younger. My parents kind of cut me off because I wanted to move out of the house. Because my parents are traditional parents, and they
can
told
only
me,
move out when you're married.
yeah. Then my parents was okay, if you want, then you have to be a big girl and do it lah. Because I am also very, very stubborn. So I was no way, I'm gonna do this. So that's why lah.
For me, maybe I haven't really had my first proper job, and it will really be when I start uni. But some advice I'm going to keep in mind is cut costs wherever I can. I think the best advice for first jobbers is if you can stay at home, please stay at home. A big chunk of everyone's salary is always rent and paying commitments to their car. So if you can, reduce all commitments. For me, it's a principle when I first started earning my influencer money. Save 50%. You can spend another 50%. As you work more months, you can increase the saving percentage. But this is only if you don't have commitment. So please try to reduce the commitment. The rest, I don't really have much advice because I don't have that much experience of it yet.
So actually, how do you budget your first salary to ensure that, you said you savings 50%, your put at home thing wow, 50% lah. 5% pun dah tercekik. So how do you ensure that you have enough savings?
I have a target of savings that I want to achieve. I set it yearly. I would try to reach the goal as fast as I can so that the rest is free money.
I love your girl math.
Honestly, life is so short. You should just spend money on what you like and have fun. Because imagine you save all this money, but you don't know if you might drop somewhere the next day, right? Then what do you save money for? Life is so short. Have fun. But don't have too much fun. I would say as long as you know your limit. So for me, I have multiple income streams, but I have a threshold of when I think this is the red line.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So for example, if you have a salary of 3,000 ringgit, I would say the red line is 1,000 ringgit. So have as much fun as you want with that 2,000 ringgit. But then when you hit 1,000 ringgit, you need to live with the mindset I'm broke.
Okay.
Yeah, you get it?
I understand exactly.
So that is how I do it now. Because I still enjoy my life to the fullest. But once I hit my red line, I know it's time to downgrade the
brakes.
lifestyle. Yeah, downgrade the lifestyle until the next time I get paid.
So I'm going to go a little bit technical into this.
Yes.
So the thing about it is that if let's say you want to budget, if you want to go old school, then get out a notebook. There's a lot of budgeting apps out there. You can actually have a spreadsheet if you're OG like that and check what are your income streams. Because normally for a lot of people, you will have a standard amount that you will get in every month. And then in that, you also already have certain commitments that you have to pay by hook or by crook every month. There's this saying, men who are married earn more than single men. Men who are married with children earn more than men who are just married without children. And the reason behind that is actually the need drives the men. And I think it's not just a gender thing actually. It's actually like how you are in general. When you know that you have a lot to pay. So if you have a good overview of your budget, that will actually empower you to make better financial decisions. Knowledge is power. You have to know yourself, understand yourself. The fact is all there. Usually data do not lie.
Yes, thank you, Reina. Like you're giving a more like wiser take. It's good for them to hear both our takes. As like the real Gen Z about to jump into the first job and someone who has already like achieved it. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah, so which brings us to the next question. How do you gain financial freedom?
As I said just now, let's just like expand from my previous explanation. Let's say that you already know how much you can spend. A good idea is to always make sure that you know what you're spending your money on. Value for money, very, very important. So that's the reason why you should look for deals. Just for example, a good deal would be like the Uni 5G postpaid 39. You know, you want data with that, you add Seringgit. Seringgit je, and then you can stretch that Seringgit and get 200 gigabytes worth of data that you can use to earn more money.
Yeah, because you know the saying sikit-sikit lama-lama jadi bukit. Even if you save just like RM1, if you keep saving RM1, one day will become 10 ringgit, 100 ringgit, 1,000 ringgit. And like Uni 5G postpaid 39, you only spend RM1 and you get 200 GB of data. Like that's 200 GB of imagination because you can do, in this day and age, you can do everything with data.
Exactly.
Right?
Okay, what is a financial mistake that you think first jobbers should like avoid? Like cannot.
I don't know, because as a first jobber, like it's so exciting.
Too many mistakes.
No, too many mistakes, but I feel like the mistakes are necessary. And as a first jobber, like earning your first salary is so exciting. So this is bad advice, but please just go and have fun. Because with the fun you have and the mistakes that you make, it will shape your financial decisions. But also, please do it like within like reasonable limits. Like don't go into that. That's it.
Okay, mak-mak punya turn.
Okay, Mama.
Okay, I know it's exciting, but avoid big purchases when you are young.
Yes.
At one point, I did also insolvency. So orang yang bankrupt, I cannot
Alamak.
pay. And the data shows that actually, zaman-zaman dulu, right, majority of people who end up bankrupt is already in their 40s or 50s because they venture into a business and they fail. And that's why. But now, in today's trend, people below 30 going through bankruptcy is on a drastic rise. And the number one reason is because of spending big ticket items. So it can be luxury goods, it can be cars, it can be houses. When it comes to the idea of cars and houses, now look, a lot of people are sold with two things, status and the idea of investment. You have to have the knowledge if you want to go into big purchases like that. If you're young, if you're really too young, I would say anyone below 23, if you want to have a car that is like big investment, any house that is a big investment, don't do it. Unless you are privileged, where you have advisors, you have family who is already in it, people who really know their stuff and do not want to take advantage of you. They will sell you a dream, but you have to see what is the reality out there before you terperangkap for the next, God knows, 30 years. Because nowadays, 30, 40 years for loan house, that's like going to shackle you.
Oh my god, just stay at your parents' house, guys. Just don't buy a house. Don't buy a car. You know what? Be expensive car or cheap car, no difference. It still gets you to your destination. expensive house or cheap house, you still have shelter to live in. So just stay at your parents' house and just drive your parents' car. And if you don't have car, just take public transport. Just don't shackle yourself, okay?
I dah takutkan dia.
Commitment is so scary because in this real world, not everyone is nice.
That's true.
So like really try to avoid like having commitment with like a bank or a person or anything, okay?
Yeah. On a lighter note, so there must be items that you can buy with just Seringgit. So what would you be able to shop for just RM1?
Of course, I would get the Uni 5G postpaid 39 plan because you get 200 GB of data for just RM1. And like we mentioned in our earlier episodes, what can you really get with RM1? And 200 GB for RM1 is a steal. I would definitely get it, and you guys should also get it.
Exactly. So what are other good financial habits that first jobbers should really like practice more?
Maybe make your own food instead of eating out all the time because it adds up. I don't know. I would say just try to reduce your everyday costs.
Fair enough.
Which is a shallow piece of advice, and let's ask the experienced mama.
Marinated mak. Okay, but the cooking part is actually a genius idea because the thing about it is that your financial habits correlate directly with your daily life. Okay, I'm going to sound like a broken record a little bit, but when it comes to knowledge, right, you really have to understand the psyche behind your spending. For example, when Leona said like, I don't do branded goods, I totally agree with you. And I think like when you run in circles of people who are financially independent, what thing I realize is that they all don't do branded goods.
They don't put so much value into it.
I never ever met a friend that is truly financially independent and say that, oh, I saved like 6 months worth of my like saving to buy this whatever brand bag.
You know what? If you have to save 6 months, it shows that you don't need it.
Yeah.
It should be something that you can buy 10 times and then only you should buy it.
Yes.
Because at this point of time, if you have to like save so long for it, it might not be worth it.
Yeah.
Because an item is just an item. You need to know how to differentiate between your wants and your needs.
Exactly.
But there will come a time, if you have this good habit of not spending money on things like that, you will reach a point of life where you don't even have to look at the price tag.
Yes.
So think long term, guys.
Exactly. So, what would you invest with just Seringgit?
And I'm gonna repeat this again. I would get the Uni 5G postpaid 39 because 200 GB data is freedom. With only RM1. It is a steal.
And you can do so much with 200 gigabytes worth of data. I would suggest kind of like not spending it watching movies and stuff like that. Instead, honestly, right, what you do online correlates a lot with the kind of lifestyle you lead.
Yeah. So
Just kind of like sink into that a little
last
bit.
time there's a bad like stigma on like what people do online, but you can actually gain so much knowledge and listen to podcasts like this and many other ways to like gain knowledge and like upskill yourself. So with that 200 GB of data, I hope you put it to good use. Okay guys, RM1 may be small in value, but it's big on data, and that's the key to data freedom.
Get Uni 5G postpaid 39 and enjoy 200 gigabytes worth of data, and you just have to add RM1.
Sadly, this is our last episode, and it was such a pleasure to sit here next to you, Reina.
It was a really, really good pleasure. I was like, she is as sweet as she is online. Like, seriously, guys.
And you are as smart as you are online.
Oh,
Thank you so much for your like advice. I think like me and everyone watching this can learn so much from what you've just said to us.
And I love that she has the positivity. So again, what she says is right. Live it up, guys. Like, don't be too scared when you go through life. And yeah, just be a little bit like...
It's okay to make mistakes because you only learn through mistakes.
That's so true.
I hope we get to work together again.
Yeah.
And thank you guys so much for watching, and see you
next
time.
Bye.
Bye.
Unify, G. Yeah. Love unstoppable. Unify G. Let go.